I'm gonna solve the problem Leetcode 283, move zeros. So this problem wants us to take an array of integers that they call nums, and they want us to move all the zeros to the right-hand side of the array at the end. So the idea I'm gonna use here, the following. So what if we keep a pointer to the position where I should place the next number that I come across that isn't zero, because I want to ultimately have zeros at the end. So what I can do, I can go over the array, and if it's not a zero, I am just simply going to copy that to the right position. For example, if I start off, say I'm going to keep track of, let's call it J, the place where the next number should be, because they should all be aligned to the left-hand side. So the first time I'm going to iterate using the I. The first time is going to be zeros, so I don't care about that. So I go on to the next one. And then I is going to be 1, which will point to the element 1. That one is not 0, so I need to move that to its place, which is given by the index j, the position j. So I'm going to just basically copy 1 into the where the 0 is, and then I'm going to move the j to the next available position to place a number. And then I keep going like that. We don't care about the 0 for the next I. Then we go to 3. And this one is not 0, so I'm going to take that and put in its place, which should be at the position j here. So it should be 1 comma 3 there. And then you keep doing that until you reach the end. By the time you finish that, you should be getting the following: 1, 3, 12, like this for the array. And notice how the end, we're gonna stop and leave these items there because the last J was here, right? We only had 3 numbers. So these that we don't care about at the end, they should be zeros. So we're gonna do one more loop to just finish filling the zeros there, because we know for sure that the next value of J here will have to be this one, which ultimately have to have the value replaced with 0. So that's the idea that I'm gonna follow. Okay, so let's make a loop to go through the array. So I'm gonna use a for loop. I'm using Java language. Int I equals 0. So I will be the index variable that will go from 0 to the end of the array, which is length minus 1. So we're gonna do I less than nums dot length because it's an array of int. And then I'm gonna increment. So it's gonna go I 0, 1, 2, 3 all the way to length minus 1. And then what we're gonna do, okay, if the number at the position I is not 0, we're gonna do the swap or copying to wherever it should be. So where it should be at some position that we'll call J. So the number at position J where we'll be placing the numbers that you find as you go through will be the nums at I. And I need an S here. And then that J I'm going to define outside the loop as an int J that starts with the 0 value. And then it's just, as you go through that, it will do like we said. And then the final value of J will be at the position of the remaining elements that need to be replaced with 0. So in that case, you got to do another loop. I can use while in this case, while the J is less than the length of nums. So nums.length. Don't forget to increment the J, otherwise you got infinite loop. And then before that, basically we just replace the nums at the position J with 0. So you can run that. I forgot the semicolon. Let's see what we got here. Oh, because I forgot to increment the J here too. So as you find some number that's not 0, you replace at the position J, but you got to make sure to increment J so it goes to the next position. Okay, there you go. So as you can see, given this input here, we should get the two zeros at the end. So in the first time, it's going to take the 1 and put in its place. It's going to take the 3, put in its place. It's going to take the 12, put in its place. Then it's going to remain these two, which we replace with 0. And then ultimately we get that. So as you can see, using this approach, we only do on because we got one loop for n times and then another loop for the remaining and simplify just on. And for the space complexity of this, since we're not using any, we're not creating any array or anything, it's just O of 1. All right, so that's move zeros. Let me submit. Sometimes when you submit, there may be some additional test cases that are not covered here, so you also want to submit to make sure. And there you go. And thank you for watching, and I hope to see you in the next one. Hey, thank you for watching. If you like this content, please consider making a donation so I can keep doing this for you. I'd really appreciate that if you could donate. All right, thank you so much, and I'll see you in the next one.